Well, hello, it's Wednesday and I'm a bit wonky, so it must be time for Woolly Hat's Wednesday WIP. Well, you join me in the conservatory because weather forecast today is for rain. However, the sun is shining, so but I think we will get rain because it's rather cloudy. Anyway, I hope you've had a good week. I've had a good week. In and out the showers, potting around in the garden and the allotment, picking fruit, picking vegetables, all that kind of stuff. So rather busy, and I have been doing things with my needles and hooks, as you can imagine. So you may remember a couple of weeks ago I started, this was a trial brioche pattern. So this is just normal acrylic double knit, just so that I can get the pattern, because unpicking brioche, if you go wrong, is quite difficult, and if you decide to do it in mohair, it's even more difficult. So having done that, I've now started it with my mohair, if I can get the needles out of all the mohair. So which way around is it? There we go. So you can see it's coming on quite nicely. So this is Kidsilk Haze from Rowan, and I bought a lot of it when I was doing a project last year or 2 years ago, but you couldn't go into shop and check the colour, so I had to buy a lot. So I'm using it to make this. This is going to be a scarf. So it's coming along quite nicely. I quite like this. Very wonky bottom. Well, it's supposed to be a wonky bottom, but yeah, quite pleased with that. So that's my brioche knitting. So the brioche knitting, for those that don't know, is that you use two colours. It looks like Fairarm. Let me see it better there, but it's not, because you only use one colour at a time, but you yarn over the needle so that you're actually, in some cases, knitting twice the thickness. So it's nice and thick, and it's, if you can probably see it better on here, the pattern is reversible, so you don't get the strands that you do in Fairarm. So for things like scarves and throws, where you're seeing the back and the front, it's quite a good technique to do. So quite like that. So there we go. So there's using some more stash, big tick. What else have I been doing? However, I have bought some new stash. I know that's rather cheeky. So I did go to the Pop-Up Wall show on Saturday, which was lovely, and there were lots of nice, interesting stalls there, fairly local. I bought some tencel from a lady who is based in Shropshire for a friend for her birthday, but I also went to Coastal Colours, and they are based in Fleetwood, and they have a huge stand, and they have lots and lots of yummy colours. And this jumped out at me, so my method, so not to buy too much, was to go round without buying anything at all, and then I go round again and just see if there's anything that really jumped out at me. Anyway, I went to this stall, and this jumped out at me on the first cruise round, so I thought, no, I'll leave that and see what else there is in the stall. And then I cruised round again, and it said, buy me, so I did. So the reason I'm buying it is, well, it's sock yarn, so it's 4-ply, which you don't have to make socks with it. It's merino, which is nice, good for good stitch definition, and nylon, so it's suitable for socks. But it's 5% sparkle. So can you see the sparkle in there? So I just thought, oh yeah, sparkly socks, or a sparkly hat, or sparkly scarf. And I just love the colours. Lovely greens and purples and blues. So they did have some rather marvellous stuff. They did have some very exotic stuff. £29 for one of those, but this wasn't that much. That was £18, which is what you get for some hand-dyed sock yarn. So yes, I'm looking forward to using that. So other things, you remember, talking of Fairarm, I'm using some Stash Up in a Fairarm jumper. So there, I've done quite a lot now, so it's looking really good. So I'm on the decrease now for the neckline. So that is the first half. It's quite an unusual construction. You knit two halves and join them together to make the front, and then you do the same for the back. So I've started with the front because I thought I'd use the nicest yarn at the front so that I can see it. That little marker there is just to show me where the beginning of the increase goes, so I can calculate where I'm on the thing. So there's quite a lot of thought in the pattern. You have to make sure you really concentrate on where you are when you're starting a new row, but I like it. And so just to show you the difference with brioche, that's Fairarm, so you can see there's the stranded stuff, and that's the front, so that's the pattern. So as Mr. W said, it's not a traditional Fairarm pattern, but it's a Fairarm technique or stranded knitting technique, which is often used in Fairarm. Well, it's used in Fairarm, also Scandinavian knits from Norway and Sweden and Finland. So yeah, quite pleased with that. So yes, it's going to be interesting when it's finished now, and of course I shall let you know how it gets on. So that's me for today. Just a reminder that I am taking bookings for my crochet and knitting classes. The crochet classes are booking up well. So if you want to have a reserve your place, please let me know, and please let your friends and neighbours know so that they can book on as well. That would be really good, and I will be eternally grateful. Anyway, that's all for me this week. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye.